Hi there, boys and girls! Welcome to Gateway Kids Club Storytelling. Coming up next is today's story. Mommies and daddies, we need your help. Gateway Kids Club is a free program, and your donation helps to keep these videos coming. So please donate any amount you like. To donate, you can click on the link below or visit our website. If you like updates on Gateway Kids Club activities, as well as our weekly arts and craft projects, please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Now, for the story. Enjoy, boys and girls! Today's story is called Seeds and Trees. But before I begin, I'd like to ask you some questions. What happens if I plant apple seeds? What kind of tree would I get? That's right, an apple tree. Okay, let's try another one. What about a bigger seed, a mango seed? If I were to plant a mango seed, what kind of tree would I get? That's right, a mango tree. Now, what if I were to plant some watermelon seeds? What would I get? Would I get a watermelon tree? No, that was a trick question. Watermelons don't grow on trees, but you would get a watermelon patch. That's right. Whatever you plant, you would get. Whatever you sow, you would reap. Well, did you know that words are also like seeds? Whatever words you say have a certain effect on the people that you're saying them to. For example, if we were to plant some words that were very unkind and discouraging, like, we have one here. What about this? Clumsy. Do you think it's a bad word or a not so nice word? Okay, what about this one? Lame. You're so lame. It's not a very nice word, is it? Let's try one more. What about this? You're so brainless. Oh no. What happens when we plant these words? Okay, let's plant them. Yeah. The kind of trees that would grow would be dark and not so very attractive and ew. Would you want to plant these kind of trees? I wouldn't want to plant these kind of trees. They only bring about unhappiness and discouragement. However, what if we plant slightly better words like, what about amazing? Is this a good word? Oh, great. What about, you are so generous. Thank you. A great word? Okay, one more. Let's try from here. What about this? You are beautiful. Let's see what happens when we plant these good words. We're going to plant them in. Well, the kind of trees that would grow would be beautiful and bright and green and fresh. Wow, wouldn't you want to plant these kind of trees? I would. The feelings you get would be happiness and encouragement and joy. Now, which kind of trees would you want to plant? This kind or this kind? I want to plant this kind. Well, today's story is about a prince who made a discovery between planting green seeds and planting dark-colored seeds. This is the story of seeds and trees. Once upon a time, in the land of the king, there lived a young, special prince. He lived in a castle that was overlooking the sea. He loved to climb trees and play with his friends. Well, he also loved trees. He had a huge field with 2 kinds of trees. Everywhere the prince went, he would carry his favorite sling bag with him. And inside his sling bag, he had seeds. Seeds of all kinds. Now, these seeds were words that people had spoken to him. It didn't matter where these words came from, be it friends or family members or whispers that were made up. It could even be gossip. Do you know what gossip is, boys and girls? Well, gossip is when people say something about someone else without them knowing. Usually these gossips are not nice. They are unkind and thoughtless. Sometimes they might not be even true. I wouldn't like it if somebody were to gossip about me. I wouldn't want to be part of the gossip as well. Well, for these seeds, when somebody said something kind and thoughtful to the prince, these seeds would usually be green in nature and in essence. However, if someone was unkind and thoughtless, the seeds that would be given would be dark and seemingly unkind. Well, the prince would plant all these seeds, At the end of every day, he would water the ground, he would admire the seeds that he had, he would plant more seeds, and then he would go and play among the trees that had already been grown. Well, there were two kinds of trees, of course. One of them were the trees that were grown from the dark seeds. Now, they were huge tree trunks that the prince would climb. However, these trees had thorns and thistles growing out from them. As he climbed, he would cut his hand, he would poke his hand, it would stab and slash him. He would bleed sometimes. It would be so painful. But the prince thought, trees are meant for climbing and having fun and adventure. And so sadly, he endured all the pain and the poking from all the thorns and the thistles. Hey, boys and girls, if you were the prince and you were playing among the trees and these trees had so much thorns and thistles and you'd be getting cut and slashed by them, would you still play among these thorns? No. Well, I guess the prince didn't know better. Sometimes we might not know better too. Sometimes our friends might say mean things to us and we don't know what to do and it causes us to be hurt. But hey, you can always get out of the tree and not play among the trees. Well, let's see what the prince did. Well, among these trees, there were also the trees that were grown from the green seeds. So he would climb these trees. They were huge trees and green in nature. They had very strong branches, so they would lie and recline on the branches. He would read a book. Sometimes he would take a nap underneath a huge tree by the tree trunk. He would also tie swings onto the strong branches and swing. Whee! Whee! He'd play hide and seek. And when he was hungry, these trees bore the most amazing, delicious, juicy, crunchy fruit. He would clutch, grab, and crunch. Which trees would you like to be around? I like to play around the green trees. Well, years have gone by, and the trees continued to grow tall and strong. But the green trees, however, started to be a bit weak. The base of the trees needed strengthening. As the prince examined the trees a little bit more, he realized something. The dark trees had grown taller over the green trees. They seemed to be stronger. You see, when he first started planting the trees, he would plant the green seeds and the dark seeds together. And so naturally, when they started to grow and take root, they would compete for the sunlight and the soil and all the attention. Well, time had passed and these trees started to grow even bigger. Well, the prince would invite his friends to come and play with him among the trees. Well, his friends would come. However, they would be drawn to the dark trees and play among the dark trees. Hey, Prince, are you going to play with us? Oh, you're so boring. I can't imagine. You don't even have a PS5. You're so lame. You're a loser. You want to race with us? But you're so slow and you're so clumsy. You always keep tripping and falling. How do you think the prince might have felt with these words, boys and girls? Sad? Discouraged? Unhappy? Yeah, I think so too. And I think suddenly these friends seem to be as dark and as mean as the dark seeds and the dark trees. Well, thankfully, the prince had a really good friend. Her name was Elizabeth. Elizabeth was a very kind and thoughtful girl, and her words were always full of grace and thought. Hi, Prince. Thank you so much for inviting me to this beautiful place. I enjoy playing with you, especially when we imagine and let our imagination run wild. One moment we are knights fighting a fierce dragon. The next moment we are in a rocket blasting off into space. Wow, you are so imaginative. I enjoy hanging out with you. How do you think the prince felt now? He felt great because she had words of kindness. Now, Elizabeth had a bag as well, and in her bag, she only had green seeds. She often gave them very generously and never took them back. She had a lot to give. She was never in lack. She would stand by the corner and watch how the prince would water the plants and care for all his trees. The prince noticed her and said, "Hey, come along. Would you like to dance with me among the trees?" And so the two of them danced and sang in the trees and the breeze. all the green trees started swaying together with the music. Hey, let's all try to be green trees together and sway with the music, shall we? Okay, reach out your branches. Okay, reach out your hands. Don't be lazy. Come on, get off your feet. Okay, very good, young boys and girls. Now sway. La 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 la. Well done. Well, the green trees were enjoying themselves. But the trees of the dark seeds, oh, they didn't like it. They just stood there rooted to the ground, fists clenched, didn't want to do anything. Well, many years had passed. Now, the prince grew up to be a young man. Well, the trees also grew up to be tall and strong. However, while the green trees looked okay from the outside, the prince noticed that the roots were rotting. Underneath the ground, the dark roots had overlapped all the green roots, something like this. Can you see this, boys and girls? Well, you see, the dark roots are overlapping all the green roots, and because of this, the trees were becoming very weak. Something had to be done, but the prince had no idea. But Elizabeth had an idea. She said, "We need to get rid of all these dark roots that are choking these green roots inside. I have a plan." So she reached her bag for her tools. They were her trusty gardening tools. They were very used and worn because she used them a lot. So now she asked the prince, "Prince, choose any of these trees you like." Prince had difficulty choosing a tree, but he decided and he chose a tree that was tall and dark and black. He said, "That one." So she was getting ready to work. She took her shovel and her spade and her rake, and she started to dig. Boys and girls, shall we try digging together? Okay, I want you to get your shovel, okay? It's a huge shovel with a sharp end over there. Okay, it's really heavy. Woo! Okay, now it's really heavy. We're gonna dig deep into the ground to get rid of all these rotting roots. Okay, ready? And and dig and throw. And dig and throw. One more time. And dig and throw. They had to dig real deep because all these black, dark roots dug deep into the soil. And so as they dug, they started pulling out all the dark roots. Well, in its place, now there was a cavity. And so Elizabeth took a green seed and planted it in. This was such a great idea. She was planting new life where life had died earlier. And so the prince said, "Can we cut down more of the dark trees and uproot all the roots that are choking the green trees?" "Yes," she said, "I have plenty of green seeds to spare." So between the two of them, they went around the garden and started uprooting all the dark trees. Hey, I'm going to need your help, boys and girls. It's only two of them, but many make the work light. Okay, so let's pretend we're pulling out the roots. We're going to uproot all these unhappy dark seed roots. Ready? Okay, hold on to the roots. Okay, we're going to pull. 1, 2, 3. Pull. One more time. There's another one over here. Ready? And pull. Last one. All your might. Grab it tight and pull. Now, the whole place was empty. There was no more dark roots, but a lot of holes. So we need to plant the green seeds. So she started planting the green seeds in the places where the roots were in. Over time, the entire area, there was no more dark trees, no more dark seeds, but beautiful green trees that were growing all over. Now, it was a beautiful sight to behold. As time went by, the prince was celebrating his birthday, and so Elizabeth gave him a gift. It was his very own set of tools, gardening tools. She also told him this. "Prince, I want you to do something for me. You know all the dark seeds that you have, like these? Don't keep them anymore. Don't plant them. Don't entertain all these negative thoughts and words. Throw them away into the sea." It was a great idea. So the prince went to the edge of the cliff, looked down, and he decided to throw them into the sea. Whoo! There they went, destroyed all the dark seeds. And Instead, he kept all the beautiful green seeds. It was his new mission. He went around to the different gardens and forests and started planting more green seeds. Whenever there was a dark tree or dark rotting roots, he would pull them out, dig deep into the ground using the new tools that he was given, and so that the whole place would be rid of dark seeds, harsh words, and mean trees. But instead, in its place, beautiful green trees that promoted life, happiness, hope, and joy. The end. Wow, what a beautiful story. I'm so glad that the prince managed to get rid of all those dark trees. Hey, boys and girls, do you know you can start planting green seeds yourself? Well, you can start this week. What are some words that we can use that might bring joy and happiness to people around us? Let's look behind us and see. What about this? It says, have a nice day. Isn't this a good phrase to use? Okay, what about this? A really simple phrase that we sometimes take for granted. Good morning. What about this? It's a great word to use for people we haven't seen in a while. I've missed you. Did you know that, this is also a great word to use? Sometimes when we say the wrong things or do the wrong things, this would help by saying, I'm sorry. You know what you can do, boys and girls? This weekend, let's see how many green seeds we can plant, shall we? You can even say it to strangers, like at the coffee shop, when you see the uncle and you're ordering a drink, you can go, hello uncle, good morning. Or when somebody helps to clear your tray, you can go, thank you very much, auntie, I really appreciate you. Thank you for working so hard. How many seeds can you plant this week? Well, have a great weekend, boys and girls. I'll see you next week where we delve into the Christmas season with this fantastical story of the Nutcracker. Bye-bye!